Why do we buy so much stuff? The question has prompted Paul Berton to take a lighthearted look at our obsession with possessions in his new book, Shopomania. Your first book. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what made you go and write a book about shopping?
You know, it seems to dominate our lives. We talk about it, we dream about it, we do it. I thought it might be time to invent a glossary or a lexicon to help us describe it better.
Yeah, and you've got a lexicon of about, what, about 60 terms
60 or
in
70,
there?
yeah.
60 terms in there. Okay, so let's start off with undershopper. You described yourself as trying to become an undershopper. What's an undershopper?
An undershopper is someone who buys just enough or even less than that. A minimalist, let's say. And I know we all tried to do that, but most of us don't succeed unless we can't afford it.
Right, and you've got all kinds of things on there like crypto shopper. What's a crypto shopper? I'm testing you now on your own book.
Well, there's a contra shopper and a crypto shopper. I mean, contra shoppers, people who buy stuff that they shouldn't be buying off the back of a truck, or
okay.
let's say it's ivory, or.
All right. What about, is contra shopping, would that be I'm buying something but I'm not going to tell my spouse that I bought it? I'm going to keep it in the trunk until after. Not that I've ever done that.
That's it too, yeah.
That kind of thing. But and while it's a very lighthearted look at how much stuff we accumulate over the years, there's also a warning in the end that we need to stop what we're doing.
Yeah, the planet is bending underneath all this stuff. It's pouring out of our, as I say in the Shopperia channel, it's pouring out of our closets, out of our attics, out of our storage units, and it's filling up the landfill sites and the dumps. And you know, what are we going to do with all this stuff? And that's really what the book is about. Mm-hmm.
Because you suggest that the day is coming when, you know, we're going to be like, I mean, limits are now put on how much garbage we can put out in Hamilton every week. Things we're going to have to pay maybe more of a consumption tax.
Well, maybe not a consumption tax, but a disposal tax.
Okay.
Right? You know, we want the economy to prosper, mm-hmm. but we want people to have a cyclical rather than a linear lifetime for their stuff.
Right.
And at the moment now, we buy it, then we throw it out. Some of us keep it for a long time or just a few days. But I think that we need something a little bit more thoughtful about, okay, where is all this stuff going to go? It's piling up.
Right. You mentioned too, and a very good point, we do need to keep buying because otherwise the economy is going to go for a dump.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about this in the shopocracy. You know, this is what we live in. We live in societies that are dominated by shopping for a reason. It's made us who we are. It's made humans who we are. Innovative and explorative and so many other great things. But I think we've got to a point where it's just too much.
Mm-hmm. And how do you know yourself when it's too much? Like we were talking in the break, I remember I used to go on shopping vacations. I go with friends and we'd go shopping all weekend long. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh, well, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah, well, I know when I've got too much, when I can't find something that I want. And I think that's typical of all of us. We've got a drawer or a closet and we just can't find what we're looking for, the basement or the attic or the garage.
Yes. And what do? We go out and buy something else.
We replace it without getting rid of the old one, yeah.
Right, right. And you think like it's not so much a North American problem because now emerging economies are becoming way more than, in some economies, way more than we ever bought.
Yeah, and everyone likes consuming. That's what humans do. And so we're headed for trouble unless we figure out something better. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying we shouldn't be shopping. I'm just saying we should figure out a better way of doing it and disposing of it.
Right.
And reusing it.
Yes, reusing it or even sharing it because, you know, you talked about, okay, why do we need snowblowers? Why do we need to own one? Why can't we share one?
Yeah, snowblower is a perfect example. Even lawnmowers, perhaps. Mm-hmm. You know, why can't we share those things for sure?
Okay. Any big revelations when you were writing this book?
Yeah, you know, the biggest one was that humans are an odd species. We see in things something that is more than the sum of their parts. We see art in almost everything, in an old car or an old typewriter or a purse or a watch. It's not just something that we want, it's something that we like looking at and enjoy. Everything is a piece of jewelry.
Okay. All right. You can get all the details, figure out what kind of shopper you are in Shopomania, which is in bookstores now. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.